The Sunrise Movement has called on Joe Biden to establish an Office of Climate Mobilization. That new position will coordinate across the president's cabinet agencies, holding federal departments accountable to curb climate change.
Lauren Maunus, the legislative and advocacy manager for Sunrise Movement, joins us now for more on this mandate and the organization's top cabinet picks for a Biden administration. It's good to see you again, Lauren. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. Lauren, tell us a little bit about what your organization is demanding of Joe Biden's presidency, cabinet, the office, and so much more, and how you guys are going to be working with his administration, if at all, in order to get some of that stuff done.
Sure. So, yeah, Sunrise is a movement of young people to stop the climate crisis and create millions of good jobs in the process. And we've really transformed Biden's platform to a point at which he was actually running on that mission, that vision for healing this country to stop the climate crisis, tackle systemic racism and economic inequality, and create millions of good union jobs. And so, you know, we through our organizing actually delivered a really historic mandate for Green New Deal style climate action. And I think we see that his electoral margins, the largest popular vote margin since FDR, it's actually a testament to him running on that bold vision of how to stop the climate crisis, tackle systemic racism, and create millions of good-paying jobs and historic unemployment. And so now it's on us to make sure he embraces that mandate, leads on this bold vision to how to build back better, and actually put people in his administration to carry that forward and lead boldly on the vision that he campaigned around.
Mm-hmm. So, Lauren, I'm just going to say I think that's a fairly optimistic interpretation of the platform that Joe Biden ran on. And debate after debate, when he got asked about the Green New Deal, he was always quick to say, I'm not for that. I have my own view, and really sort of embraced a lot of the right-wing talking points around the Green New Deal. What did you make of those moments, first of all? And second of all, what are you all prepared to do in order to hold his feet to the fire?
Sure. So, you know, when we're talking about the Green New Deal, we're talking about a 10-year plan to transition every sector of this economy to stop the climate crisis and really meet the scale that science and justice demand. And I think we're not talking about one specific bill or one specific executive action. It's really an all government, all society approach. And I think Biden actually, by the end of his campaign, did embrace that style of climate policy. And his Build Back Better plan is actually largely reflective of the type of approach to climate policy. So kind of sector by sector, a standards, investment, justice framework, and making sure we're not addressing climate in an incremental, technocratic way, but actually putting justice and jobs at the very core of the transition to a renewable energy economy. And so, and now it's on us. He, in the final weeks of his campaign, said that climate was a top priority, the most existential crisis our country and world is facing, and we need to make sure that he is upholding that mandate to be a climate president. We think that's both popular and politically strategic for him to embrace fully. And Sunrise is prepared to do that. We have a strong movement across the country and in every state of young people who, we feel the urgency of this crisis every single day, and it's only getting worse as we're facing COVID and unemployment and the climate crisis. And so I think we're ready to hold his feet to the fire in both making sure that he kind of uses every single tool in his toolbox to lead on climate to the full extent, regardless of kind of the direction of the Senate, regardless of the pressure from the more establishment segment of the party or the right. He was elected on this popular mandate, and we will hold him accountable to that.
Yeah.
And Lauren, what specifically are you prepared to do, though? I mean, does that mean primary challenges against Democrats who don't vote the right way or don't support what you all support? Does that mean potentially primary challenge against Joe Biden or Kamala Harris in 2024? Because, look, you all, along with Justice Dems, put out a list of progressive cabinet picks you'd like to see. We've gotten a lot of reporting that Sanders and Warren, for sure, have already been shot down. The names that we're getting in terms of likely cabinet picks don't reflect the people that you all have put forward. So what does that accountability specifically look like?
Sure. Yeah, I think we're prepared to kind of keep growing the movement in numbers of popular support of young people across the country, and working closely with other groups and movements in the progressive movement, the climate movement, the labor movement, and making our message loud and clear until it becomes like mainstream political opinion. And that also, includes tactics such as how we build political power, putting people in office who unequivocally champion the type of progressive and popular policy that we need. And so I think over the next few years, we start with, calling an open invitation for Biden to lead on the type of commitments he made through day one priorities, such as the Office of Climate Mobilization, putting people in his cabinet who reflect the mandate that he was elected on. And, I think we use every organizing tool that we have, which is, nonviolent direct action and escalated actions to call on moral protest. And, ask Biden which side he's on, if he's with our generation and the movement that elected him with the largest vote margin since FDR, or if he's with the people that kind of got us into this mess in the first place. And so we're using creative tactics that we've seen Sunrise use before. I think there's actually a group of Sunrisers in Philly right now calling on Biden to be brave and pass his vision for Build Back Better. And we'll continue kind of making sure that we elect people into office who represent the vision that we absolutely need.
Mm-hmm. All right, Lauren, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Lauren.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good day.
Yep, a Fox News host doesn't know if he agrees with his own reporting. We're going to talk about that when Rising continues.